And following on to part 2 of Bloggers, the post editor, I've already prepared some text to talk you through the buttons from the one in the middle here, which is some subheadings all the way through to link. So that's what we're doing in part 2, and then the rest of the bunch down the end will be part 3. So first of all, I've just prepared some text following on from part 1, and if I have a look over on the HTML, we can see that there is some text and some breaks. And so, well, I just want to be prepared there's no HTML knocking around in the background. So when I started typing this text, it was a matter of looking at the visual images like in my head of how like the human brain works or any animal brain works. In other words, to start visualizing something. And I'll tell you why is because when people start off and they think, the biggest mistake I think a lot of young writers or any writers make is that they start to format a lot of text and look at colors before they actually get on and do the bulk or all of the writing. So let me just give you an example. So on here we've got, once upon a time there was a boy living in Ireland. He walked far and wide, and on his travels one day came across 4 magical places: the tree in Killarney, the boat in Kilkenny, the seashore at Dingle, and the cliffs of Moher. Now, the Cliffs of Moher is quite interesting because people might spot this super famous movie. Well, there's been quite a few actually, but one of them, Legend. Now, let's come to that. Now, let's have a look. And if we highlight the tree in Killarney and we look at a heading for that, it will make it very big. Okay? And so my point is that when I use Blogger, when I write, I very, very, very rarely, like never, use any of these headings. I might do bold, and that's pretty much it. I'll never use another heading apart from the auto title heading, but that's already in the formatting. So this is what they look like. So we can go to number 2. Not number 2, is it? The subheading. You can see the way everything's getting pushed down. And we've got the minor heading, whatever that is. And we've also got the last one, which is normal. Okay, fair enough. It's normal. Now you notice there are a couple of extra breaks been thrown in. And just to have a look at what we've got, and that is we've got heading 2, which is here, heading 3, heading 4, and normal. And you can see that the way, if you don't know how HTML works, just for those people who are super interested, I'll be honest, I'm not one of them, and that is that you've got heading starts, tree in Killarney, and then end of heading 2, and it finishes. Now, the big thing that I'm going to say is to get them back again, because I don't really want to do this at this stage, is to say, let me just come back, -1, as I just did Control- there to get the zoom out. So let's say I wanted to take all of that, and I just wanted to get back how it was. I could use the back arrow, or I could use, go back to Compose, and I could use the undo, which is this one over here on the left-hand side. The one I'm going to use is the right-hand side one, which is, I use this a lot, and that's called remove formatting. And you'll find that everything is just pushed down to raw text, if you like, and it usually puts some extra spaces in. So that's that part. Yeah, valuable if you want to use them. Do I use them? No. Remember, part of this was talking about what I personally use and what advice I've got to give. So let's moving on to the next one. If we did want to say something like the tree in Killarney, I can press bold. I can make that go italic. Now, italics are very interesting because sometimes I find that when you use italics in any writing, it breaks the flow of the sentence. So if I did something like, once upon a time there was a boy living in Ireland, and if I said something like, once upon a time there was a boy, let's just go in a bit. Oh, sorry. No, I'm apologising. So can you see that you've got boy in there, and you can see that the way that once upon a time there was a boy, does it really break your reading speed of that sentence? I think it does. So if you like, I can just highlight a piece of that, and I can say just remove the formatting. So what I'm trying to get to is what options we've got. I'm finding personally that the tree in Killarney, when you've got the boat in Kilkenny, it's the italics just doesn't help the writing, in my opinion. But you know, there's probably nobody watching this ever who's not had some kind of buttons and formatting buttons in their existence, you know, young or old. Underlining, again, is another one that you can do, but is it really important? If I underline that, I find I just don't like the look of it personally. It's there. And the one that I do like, in a way, is Haha, love it, love it, love it. Yeah, let's do this. And I said speedboat. So let's say you got the speedboat in Kilkenny, and let's say, for example, it was a medieval story or something, and you want to throw a joke in. You might want to, put a piece of humour and say the speedboat, and then you can use strike through. And then what you've got is people know that it's an intentional. That's about the only way that I ever use strike through, like ever, and I never use it at Blogger. Sometimes I use it very rarely at Google Plus, just to say put something in there to intentionally make a mistake, and you're doing it for comedy effect, if you like. And then what else have we got down here going along? We've got, yeah, this is interesting actually, because if you said something like the seashore, and again, changing your text color, a piece of advice here is simply to say, don't do it until it's very, very end, and you have got for the the finished form of writing. So if I started to use something here and I've just turned that into yellow, you can't see it. So if somebody's sitting in, say, always use the example of a library, and the sun's streaming through the window, and you're on a shared machine or at a school somewhere, you just can't read the yellow text. Now I could reverse that out and use the highlighting text here, and I can reverse highlight, and I could make that go to black. And then this time you've got some black text there with a reversed out yellow. And I think by the time that you're looking at your text colors, and I really do like the way that we've got make this simplistic. Gmail's the same with this. I think is it Gmail or Documents? Can't remember, but they're on the same formatting thing now. So you just click it once and you get a deal box of like text or highlight. Yeah, I mean that's. But again, look at the mess we've made. It's a real mess, isn't it, in terms of what it was? And in one simple way, I could go back and back and back and back, or I could just hit undo formatting, and the whole thing disappears. Thank you. And then, do you know what? That's far too many minutes. So let's stop there and go on to part 3.